Hiyo! Welcome to my channel. This is Greta and I make sign-along videos, sign-by-sign tutorials and chronic illness related content. Today's video is the sign-by-sign tutorial for John Legend's My Imagination. Before we jump into it, I just want to apologize for the state of the background. We're just moving rooms, so it's a bit of a mess, but bear with me, it will get there hopefully by the next video. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so the first verse starts with I made them laugh. I made them cry. But now the rain clouds, see, you're making little clouds with your hands, are on the inside. So what we do is inside me. Let's do that line again. But now the rain clouds are on the inside. They don't know how it feels to know how I feel. I try to escape or leave from everything real. That's the first verse. Let's give it a try. I made them laugh. I made them cry. But now the rain clouds are on the inside. They don't know how it feels to know how I feel. I try to escape from everything that is real. Great job. The first verse is followed by chorus 1. It has two choruses really. The first one will be repeated at the end. So chorus 1 starts with to hide in my imagination or mind or dreams. It has many different meanings depending on the context. So, to hide in my imagination, safe inside my contemplation, never out of time, somewhere in my mind. There is a place where I'll be landing. So you make a little plane shape with your hand and make the landing. Far away from where I'm standing, day by day or every day, creating in my imagination. I found that it has a lovely flow once you learn them, and it's a real pleasure doing the music, and it's a good practice of transitioning between signs as well. But let's try this. First chorus, all in one. To hide in my imagination, safe inside my contemplation, never out of time, somewhere in my mind. There's a place where I'll be landing, far away from where I'm standing, day by day creating in my imagination. Amazing! So the first chorus is then followed by the second verse. The second verse starts with this well has run dry of all my ideas, which is a lovely phrase, but it is quite hard to sign if you're trying to translate it word by word, which obviously we don't want to. We only translate the overall meaning, so I don't have the ideas. Silence is too loud. I must cover my ears. I'm closing the door. It's hurting badly. I'm running away from everything I touch. And that is the second verse. Let's give it a try. The well has run dry of all my ideas. Silence is too loud. I have to cover my ears. I'm closing the door. It's hurting too much. I'm running away from everything I can touch. Now the second chorus is very similar to the first one, which might make it a little bit hard to remember in the heat of the moment when you're signing along. So just pay attention. But it starts in the very same way. It goes to hide in my imagination. But then it goes on to there is always magic waiting. So this is magic. Imagine as if you were throwing sparks with your fingers. At least that's what I do. For never counting time, it's never, and then I just like don't care. Never care about time. Always on my mind. There's a place that only I see, but instead of that I sign that there's a place that is mine, far away from everything I see. But if you pay attention, I did realize I signed where I'm standing, but you know, if you really think about it, the meaning is the same. And it was a terribly hot day, and as I only noticed it when I was editing, I just left it in, but shh. And then it goes on to inch by inch creating in my imagination. Yep, so that's it. It's relatively simple. So let's just practice it. To hide in my imagination, there is always magic waiting, never counting time, always on my mind. There's a place that only I see, far away from all that I see, inch by inch creating in my imagination. Well done. The second chorus is then followed by a bridge. I can stop it all from hurting, so I stop the pain with my mind, or with this mind as the actual lyric goes. I can stop the world from turning. They don't know how it feels to know how I feel. I try to escape from everything that is real. As you probably noticed, these last two lines were from the first verse, and then there's a couple of oohs which you can sign O for, and then it goes on to I can hide in my imagination, which is the first chorus repeated. Well, before getting into all that monkey business, let's just practice this bridge on its own, and then we will practice the chorus, the first chorus, on its own again before moving on to the full song practice. I can stop it all from hurting. With this mind, I can stop the world from turning. They don't know how it feels to know how I feel. I try to escape from everything that is real. Well done. Alright, so now let's practice that first chorus that is repeated at the end of this song. to hide in my imagination, safe inside my contemplation, never out of time. Somewhere in my mind, there's a place where I'll be landing, far away from where I'm standing, day by day, creating in my imagination. Great job, well done! Okay, so are you ready to move on to the full song practice? Don't worry if you're not, you can always just rewind to previous parts of the video and practice those separately, or if you're ready, come along with me to practice the full song all in one. I made them laugh, I made them cry, but now the rain clouds are all on the inside. They don't know how it feels to know how I feel. I try to escape from everything that is real, to hide in my imagination, safe inside my contemplation, never out of time. Somewhere in my mind, there's a place where I'll be landing, far away from where I'm standing, day by day creating in my imagination. The well has run dry from all my ideas. Silence is too loud. I have to cover my ears. I am closing the doors. It's hurting too much. I'm running away from everything I can touch, to hide in my imagination. There is always magic waiting, never counting time. Somewhere in my mind, there's a place that only I see, far away from all that I see, inch by inch creating in my imagination. I can stop it all from hurting. With this mind, I can stop the world from turning. They don't know how it feels to know how I feel. I try to escape from everything that is real. Oh, I can hide in my imagination, safe inside my contemplation, never out of time. Somewhere in my mind, there's a place where I'll be landing, far away from where I'm standing, day by day creating in my imagination. Amazing, well done. I'm really proud of you. Are you ready to practice it with the song? If so, click at the card above to sign along with me to the actual song by John Legend. And if you feel like you want to practice more, just go back to the previous parts. I hope you enjoyed this video. I am again sorry for the mess, but fingers crossed that it will be a little bit calmer in the near future. I am excited about many of the content coming out, both for songs and also for topics that I am just really excited to cover. If you have any suggestions, either for the songs or the topics, or you have any other comments or concerns, feel free to contact me either in the comments down below or by finding me on social media like Twitter and on Instagram. To keep up to date with all my content and be notified as soon as something is out, please subscribe to my channel, which also supports me, so you know, it's a win-win situation, isn't it? This is all for today. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.